Getting bad feedback is hard to say the least. In response, we often get offended, angry, we start suffering, losing self-confidence, or ignoring feedback we could use to improve. What if you could take criticism more constructively? In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to take criticism. Before we begin though, make sure to subscribe to Inspirational Vibe and hit the bell icon for notifications. Now let's get into it. 1. Be prepared. You should have at least an approximate idea of what you could be criticized for. If you need feedback on your work, ask for it with confidence. Don't beg for a derogatory response or fake approval by asking questions like, "Am I doing this badly?" or "Do you like my work?" If you want to solve problems with other people, learn to reflect on the outcome of your behavior. Arrogance doesn't help much in getting appreciation. Not everyone likes you or your work because everyone is different. You will hear all kinds of criticism about yourself from your friends, family members, and colleagues. If you're not ready to deal with criticism and face the possibility of your work, body, or style being criticized, you should stay home. If you don't have thick skin, that's okay. We all need some time to be toughened up. Just like treating acidity or hypertension can help prevent symptoms, preparing yourself before giving a presentation can reduce your chances of getting hurt by criticism. Here are some things you could do to prepare yourself for criticism. Set an intention. Before going into a situation with a high probability of criticism, set your intention to welcome the experience. Doing this will prepare your mind and body to take on criticism more effectively. Be aware of your intention. Make sure you're not trying to seek approval, acceptance, or validation. While your intention might be positive, these underlying intentions may sabotage your ability to receive criticism productively. Allow criticism. If you expect everyone to love what you do and say, you should be prepared to feel badly when someone doesn't. Don't take it personally. Find out why they don't like you or your work. Investigate why. When people complain about or criticize something about you, don't react defensively straight away. Ask them why they think this way. This will help you understand each other and sort things out faster. 2. Stay calm. Check if your body is tense. Check your breath. How can you stay calm? If you ask this question to people who meditate, they usually answer, "I've never asked the question in the first place." Most of us live with a great deal of stress and little control over it. Meditation is one effective way to learn to stay calm in stressful situations. You don't need a yoga mat or a Buddha statue. You don't even need to close your eyes. All you have to do is find a quiet place and focus on your breathing. Why meditation? Meditation has been proven to help reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and other unpleasant feelings. It can lower the cortisol levels, the hormone that regulates stress, in our body, and it also rejuvenates certain areas of the brain that control our emotions. Some people are indeed born with more calm personalities than others. Still, anyone can learn how to stay calm with meditation. Need more reasons? Meditation increases serotonin levels, reduces snacking cravings, lowers blood pressure, and decreases insulin resistance. And lastly, being calm all the time makes you look younger. 3. Think positively. Feedback can be very helpful to you. Assertive people are not afraid to make mistakes, but instead see them as an opportunity to learn something. However, recognize when criticism is valid and important to hear and when it isn't. Not all feedback helps improve your behavior. Sometimes people criticize in the guise of offering you advice or guidance, but they're really just trying to get you to see things their way. These types of comments sting because they're not about how to improve, they're just an attempt at manipulation that makes us feel bad about ourselves. We want our children to grow into responsible adults who can make wise decisions on their own, so we try to teach them by sharing experiences we've had and skills we've learned over time. However, many parents unwittingly cross the line from offering guidance and feedback into making judgments and giving unsolicited advice. You should never have gotten that tattoo. Your last boyfriend was just like all the rest. He didn't really care about you at all. You're way too smart for this job. What are you doing working here? When someone gives us advice or offers unsolicited opinions on our life choices, it can be condescending and controlling rather than helpful or concerned. 4. Stay in the adult position. An adult is that part of the personality guided by rationality and objectivity. Try to evaluate critical feedback on the following parameters. How important is this person's opinion to you? How honest and constructive is this criticism? Turn on your adult brain to remind yourself that criticism is only about certain aspects of your behavior. This does not mean that you as a person are completely rejected. 5. Listen carefully. Calmly repeat what your critic says to show that you are listening carefully. Check if you heard what was said correctly. Anxiety can interfere with perceiving other people's words and sometimes even the very ability to hear. 6. Show empathy for those who criticize you. This does not mean self-deprecation. Don't say things like, "Yeah, it must be awful to live with someone like me." It's better to say, "I understand that my behavior may upset you," or "I understand that for some time you have been unhappy with the fact that I... 7. Take a break. Sometimes it's better to postpone the conversation until later, especially if you feel like you can't hold on to your adult position because you're too angry or confused. In this case, arrange to meet another time. Say that you can listen to the interlocutor more carefully later. During this time, you will be able to calm down, rethink all the facts, and if necessary, prepare for a counterattack. 8. Protect yourself. If it seems that you or your critic is unfair or aggressive, or if the time and place for such a conversation are chosen poorly, for example, now you need to gather strength before an important meeting, or your conversation is taking place in a crowded place, or you are simply too tired, be assertive and protect yourself. 9. Be clear about exactly what they want to tell you. Ask clarifying questions. For example, if a critic says, "I don't think a person who behaves as you will ever be promoted to manager," ask him the question, "What exactly is it about my behavior that makes you think so?" This technique allows you to uncover aggressive and derogatory undertones disguised as benevolent or innocent comments. Sometimes the phrase, "Did you buy a new lipstick?" may mean, "How vulgar is that lipstick of yours?" And the question, "Were there traffic jams again?" can actually mean, "You're late again." 10. Share your feelings and thoughts. Respond honestly to constructive criticism unless you have some specific reason not to. Recognize its positive aspects. For example, you could say, "I was a little taken aback by what you said, but on the other hand, there is reason to think." Another option, "It was useful for me to hear this, although I cannot agree with you." 11. Give yourself confidence. Remind yourself of your strengths, values, and what you have achieved. Ask for support from people who love you for who you are. Most of us have received criticism at some point in our lives. Maybe it happened at school, maybe at work, or maybe during a family talk. No matter how you were criticized, receiving criticism can be difficult and often results in negative emotions. How can you stay confident while receiving criticism? Acknowledge and understand the source of your feelings. Imagine that you just received negative feedback from your boss because he noticed that you haven't improved your performance since last year. Right after hearing this piece of information, your stomach is tied up into knots, and you don't know if it would be possible to stand another day at work with that bad feeling inside. At this point, it's important to acknowledge the fact that these are your feelings and that there's no need to judge them. Don't say, "I shouldn't feel this way," or "I'm weak for feeling like this." It's important not to fight these feelings. Simply acknowledge them and understand where they come from. 12. Make a plan of action. If the criticism is fair and you really want to listen to it, think about how you can change your behavior. Suppose the criticism is aggressive, unfair, and you do not agree with it, but at the same time it hurts or unsettles you. In that case, you need to consider some self-defense techniques or understand the root causes of your reaction. Perhaps the words of the critic reminded you of some significant people in your life, for example, your parents or boss. Understanding the cause can help you to get out of this stupor. Maybe you should do self-development work in your relationships with these people so that past failures no longer deprive you of strength. If you cannot understand the reasons for your reaction yourself, it's better to consult a psychotherapist. Let us know in the comments how you respond to criticism. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to Inspirational Vibe and hit the bell icon so that you're notified whenever we post new content. Thanks for watching.